I came across a phenomenal article yesterday that I want to talk about, and the title of it from The Week is Democrats Are Sleepwalking into a Biden Disaster. And just on the headline, I immediately said, yes, they are. And I read through the article and it makes some really great points. But here's the thing. Right now, Joe Biden, according to the latest round of polling, is still the top. It's a narrow lead, depending on which poll you're looking. The aggregates have him a couple points ahead, though, well within margins of error. But Biden is still at the top of the ticket here. He's still the leader. And I think right now a lot of us are wondering why. Look, I am friends with a lot of people who probably don't share my progressive values. They're Democrats, don't get me wrong, but they're a little more center Democrats. I haven't met or talked to any of them that actually support Joe Biden. They understand that Joe Biden ain't it, that Joe Biden will lose to Donald Trump. So I'm just wondering, where the heck is this support coming from? You know, it's not, I'm telling you, coming from people inside any kind of liberal form of media. It isn't. It's just people out there in America who say, well, I don't know these other people. I know Joe Biden, so I guess it's Joe Biden it is. And you're going to sleepwalk us, as The Week points out, into a disaster. Because Joe Biden is a disaster. You know, the allegations of plagiarism from his first presidential campaigns, the Anita Hill thing that still haunts him to this day and should, the crime bill that he voted for. But if you want to go a little more recent, how about him biting his wife's finger during the speech? How about his crazy stories about corn pop and the kids liking to rub his hairy legs? That's friggin' weird, folks. And it's a weirdness that Republicans have already jumped on. Not to mention the fact that in the debates, he couldn't even remember his own campaign. You know, go to Joe 3033031.27. I don't frickin' know. He didn't know his own website, folks. He didn't know the number to text. He confuses dates and times and when he served in office and what happened when he was serving in office and what happened since then. He doesn't know. Those are red lights. Those are red lights flashing right in our face, right in the faces of the people who support Biden. And they say, wow, somebody turn that light off. That's obnoxious. No, pay attention to the warning light flashing in your face. Joe Biden is a human gaffe machine. And we can't afford that because he will not beat Donald Trump. And then you have the other problems. And these problems are a little bit more unfortunate for Biden because these are made up problems. But not to Republicans, not to moderates. Those made up problems are the alleged corruption of Biden and his son Hunter. Now, as much as I don't like Biden, I don't buy into the fact that he did anything illegal or that Hunter did anything illegal, but Republicans do. And the Trump campaign and all other Republicans have already seized on this. They are painting Joe Biden as a senile, corrupt, incompetent, old white guy. And I know the irony there, because Donald Trump is far more senile, far more corrupt, and far much of a whiter guy when he's not orange. But they've already seized the narrative. So real or imagined, the baggage still exists. That's unfair, but it's what they did to Hillary with the email thing. There was no scandal with the email thing. The FBI did get their hands on those emails, but they kept saying, no, they didn't. Where are her emails? But her emails. So it was an imagined scandal, but it took her down. Just like the Ukraine thing will be with Biden. There's no truth to it, but it'll bring him down. Then, of course, you have his temper, right? And I love the fact that all of these establishment Democrats love to tell us how unhinged Bernie can become when somebody confronts him. Bull crap. You want to see unhinged? Well, we showed you the video a couple weeks ago of Joe Biden taunting the heavy-set man who asked him a question about his son. That's a temper. There's plenty of other videos floating around of people asking him very simple questions about the environment, about healthcare. And his response is to fly off the friggin' handle and say, well, I'm not your candidate. You should vote for somebody else. Wow. Real smart strategy there. Joe Biden 2020, vote for somebody else. Because that's what we're dealing with now. If somebody doesn't agree with you or they're asking where you stand on something, you can't lash out and say, go support Bernie. You can say, listen, I understand your concern. I understand your question. And yeah, Bernie's got his plan, but let me tell you about my plan and let me tell you why my plan is better and let me earn your vote. I'm a natural born politician, apparently, because that's all it takes, folks. But Biden can't even do that. I think Biden, much like Hillary Clinton, believes he is deserved. He is owed the presidency. And if he continues to think that, and if the voters continue to think that on the Democratic side, welcome to 4 more years of Donald Trump. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.